Just finished up the Bronco testing and sprinting and stuff. Bronco, I ran a 6:04, which is like, I don't know, not terribly terrible considering it's the first time I really ran in a long time, well, since nationals. And for my sprint, I got 5 seconds and 5.8 seconds in the 40 meter, which I'm not a very fast person, so that's like, all right, sub 6 is pretty good for me. Okay, so I'm just talking over a few movements here. Something that I'm looking for this RDL is because I've got really tight hamstrings. So I'm kind of focusing on getting stretch, strengthening the muscle at length. Also looking for any hip shifts or compensations there. Next one, glute bridges with a dumbbell press. Single arm, this is doing anti-rotation for one side. The glute bridge is something that I struggle with quite a bit just because I've got pretty inactive glutes, and my quad muscles are pretty tight. So before taking this clip, I had my legs a little bit further out and I didn't really realize it. And I was actually getting a ton of activation in my hamstring, and then my coach told me to bring them in a little bit further, which really stretched my quads out a lot more than I was expecting. And then watching the video back, it's like my shins are directly underneath my knees, so definitely something that I need to work on going forward. And then chest, I haven't done it in a while, so I need to make sure I incorporate stuff like that. Okay, these are sumo plug squats. Main focus behind this is just getting depth and trying to use a little bit of weight and gravity to open up my hips. As you see, I'm going like just parallel pretty much, but that is driving my knees out super wide. Same principles as the glute bridge. I've got pretty inactive glutes, so I'm really just trying to externally rotate here as much as I possibly can and get those guys fired up. You can't tell that well, but I am elevated on, I think it's like a 12-inch box. If I were to go flat right on the ground, then as I squat down, the kettlebell would hit the bottom, and I just wanted that little bit of extra range of motion and the weight to pull me into a position. Another one here, bench press. Like I said, I've separated both my shoulders last year, so I really didn't do any chest movements at all. As you can see, it's kind of non-existent. And I get a lot of compensation in my neck, as I have to keep the weight low, because if I go up too much, I'll start to shrug my shoulders and the bar will twist and my elbow will flare. These things, hip airplane openers, one of my favorite movements, especially mobility during the beginning of the workout. I love doing these because, like I was saying, I've got tight hamstrings, and this is a good balance challenge. So you really get increased mind-to-muscle connection when doing these, and as you can see, the stability is pretty insane. The movements are very slow. You're constantly changing center of mass as you open up your hips, so your feet have to compensate for that. One thing I did notice when we go into the back view, which I believe is coming up after this one. There, see, I'm just correcting my balance there. Using your arms as a bit of leverage to help change the center of mass. Opening up and then coming back in. So as I change directions here, facing behind the camera, I noticed when I kicked my leg back, my hip was kind of already getting into external rotation. There, you can kind of see it. As soon as I go to hinge forward, boom, you can see it opening up. So this made me kind of rethink what I was getting from this movement. Yeah, my hamstrings are tight and it feels good, but I think I need to try and strengthen more, get more range through internal rotation of the hip. Again, like as soon as I start to hinge back and kick my leg, my hips rise. So I'm stretching a position that's already getting overworked, and I need to get into the position that's being underworked and mobilized through there.